Let me tell you a secret. There are thousands of artisans from all over the world that make jewelry, shawls, handbags, and other beautiful things. And our passion at Novica is to bring them to you. And it's working. Customers are loving it. We are your secret source to the world's most beautiful items. You can buy from Mexico, Peru, Brazil, Thailand, so many beautiful places without ever leaving your home. We've been featured in Oprah Magazine, Vogue, InStyle, and Glamour, and so many others. Novica has been the leading fair trade marketplace for incredible artisans from around the world. The Novica mission is simple. Artisans make more and you pay less. Choose something that inspires you and empower a whole community of artisans.
Hi friends, welcome back to Shop the World. Today is episode 5. Can't believe we're already here, episode 5. Every week, Thursdays at noon. So today we are jumping ahead a little bit to two popular holidays, the Halloween and Day of the Dead, very distinct, very different holidays that somehow have some similar themes linked together. So we're going to be talking about that. And Michael, our merchandiser, has picked out some fun stuff to show you. We have so much. I'm going to have to really talk fast today. We have so many different things to show you. And we've got Jenna, as always, waiting in the comments to give away Novica gift certificates. So talk with her in the chat and automatically you'll be entered in to get some of our various gift certificates we've been giving away. So $50 today. We'll do multiples of those. And we've got Jim behind the scenes. Thank you, Jim, for helping us make this all possible. He's our producer. And oh my gosh. Okay, so Michael, our merchandiser, tasked me with a kind of a difficult thing today. So Halloween, we have artisans from all over the world that make really cool Halloween things. But Day of the Dead tends to be a bigger celebration for us at Novica. We have an office, of course. One of our artisan empowerment hubs is in Mexico and in other Latin American countries that have also taken on the Day of the Dead tradition. So we're going to be discussing both today and showing you all sorts of different beautiful handmade fair trade works of art from all sorts of cool artisans around the world that we work with. And we are going to start today with this beautiful dress that isn't necessarily a Halloween dress, but it's called the Dazzling Midnight Dress. It's heavily embroidered. It has some little touches that could make it work very well for Halloween, but it's also just actually a really beautiful going out dress. And it's handmade by an artisan in India. Anchal Ahua in India. So let's see, what can I tell you about this dress? And we're also going to talk a lot about the holidays themselves, a little bit of history, a little bit of cultural stuff. And did you guys know there's like an active Una in our headquarters office? She is a repository of all sorts of amazing information. And she was just telling me today that there is an annual festival in Mexico that in one particular town that is all about witches. There, the witches are mostly men. They're called brujos, so wizards, sorcerers. And it's all about sorcery, and it dates way, way back. And anyway, that's March 1st. So some of these celebrations span the year, and we're going to get into more of that soon. Let me tell you first about this dress that's so beautiful. So much elaborate work went into this. Boy, I don't know if you guys can see this embroidery that's on the front, and there's a lot on the back. Anyway, a lot of detail went into this by Anchal in India. He explains it as a crepe fabric handkerchief hem, which you can see in the picture there. Maybe Jim, leave that photo up since it's hard for me to stand up and show the whole thing here. It's all lined with cotton, hand wash cold, flat. It's in 5 sizes. So the great thing is, perfect for Halloween, but you can also wear that when you're going out. It's really special. Susan gives it 5 stars. She says, wow, this dress is gorgeous. She ordered it recently. I was surprised how true to size it is. Shipped quickly to Canada. Good quality and workmanship. Very artistic. I'm very happy. Thank you so much, Anchal. So, and I'll tell you a little bit about Anchal. He's one of our many thousands of 5-star artisans around the world. He works, he delivers his beautiful handmade goods to our Artisan Empowerment Hub in India, where we have a whole team, as we do in each region of the world, where we work with artisans who help. They do all quality control, photography, interview all the artisans both about their lives to share that with you. So you find all these stories on the Novica website, and also interview them about every single piece they offer for sale. And then, of course, we seamlessly handle all shipping and customs and import and get it to you really fast and beautifully wrapped and safe. So anyway, on Charles says, my family and I have worked in women's clothing for several decades now in Jaipur. We're constantly experimenting with different fabrics. Each day is a new experience. He says we source cloth from different parts of the country, India in his case, so we can give variety in our collections. I'm very fond of experimenting with different kinds of embroidery and colors. I love hearing from my buyers. Yes, you'll see all his reviews on the Novica.com website. People love his work. And anyway, that's a little bit about that artisan and this dress. Gosh,
Are those like beads that are embroidered into that, or
embroidered? Stitch embroidered, but then it also has beads embroidered into it. It's very, very elaborate and beautiful, and it feels really good. It's loose and really flowy dress, that crepe fabric, but then again, it's got the lining. So I'm actually going to a celebration of life right after this show tonight. I may wear this dress there. It's at a nearby mission where in my area, and so anyway, very apropos. I'm in a mixture of moods today as we proceed. But in the theme of Day of the Dead, I was thinking about my neighbor Pam, who passed away, and who I love very, very much. And so Day of the Dead. So we have Halloween, of course, which goes way back to Celtic traditions, 2,000 years, when it was a day when there was believed to be an opening in the world where departed souls would come back. So people would dress in costumes and light bonfires to try to scare away and keep at bay the death. So that's Halloween, October 31st. Day of the Dead, on the other hand, is a true cause for celebration of lives past. It's got a different tenor to it altogether. And you'll find, so that's November 1st and 2nd. It's a 2-day holiday, as Una pointed out. Day 1 tends to be really remembering and celebrating children that we've lost, children that we love, and then Day 2, adults. So it's really a festival and a family reunion of sorts, both among living family members and departed family members. You'll see altars put up in Mexican households, and of course, the tradition has spread broadly through other Latin American countries as well, and to areas where we have seen a lot of Mexican migration into other areas. For example, Los Angeles, Day of the Dead is a huge, popular, and really fun celebration. So very distinct holidays, but they very much overlap. Going back to the Celtic tradition, that really got, so the Pope in the 800s expanded a local Roman festival honoring All Saints to a universal Catholic holiday, All Saints Day. So All Hallows Eve, the day before, so October 31st, has morphed into Halloween. So we've got pagan mixed with Catholic, very similarly so in Day of the Dead, where it combines ancient Aztec traditions dating back thousands of years with the Roman Catholic influence that came in. So the Aztecs, for example, and Mayans and Olmecs also all celebrated Day of the Dead in their own ways, but they didn't call it Day of the Dead, of course, and it was a longer holiday. The Aztecs celebrated for a month every year with all sorts of festivities. And so that has all kind of come together as what we now know as Day of the Dead, which is what we celebrated on November 1st and 2nd. And unlike the Halloween celebration, which is more focused on magic and witches and graveyards, Day of the Dead is very much focused on celebrating the lives of our loved ones and putting out photos of them on our altars, and just also wearing all sorts of beautiful Katrina type apparel and masks and jewelry, which we're going to be showing you a little bit later. So I'm going to show you a little bit of both. This is one of my beautiful, this is from my own collection, Huichol Mexican necklace. So you'd see more of that for celebrating Day of the Dead. So anyway, very interesting and very distinct holidays. Before I forget, remember to visit Jenna in the chat. We're giving away $50 gift certificates throughout the show today. And anyone that's chatting with her is automatically entered into those random giveaways. And Jenna will be getting with you afterwards to tell you who's won. We've had a lot of winners so far. We did have a delay in sending a couple of those out. So if you didn't receive yours last week or the week before, you will be getting them speedy delivery. And my apologies for that. All right, so we're going to move on right now really quickly to the earrings. This is by a Balinese designer, artisan designer, of course. Her name is Ayu Ari in Bali. So she made the necklace and these earrings, which are actually very, very well made. So 95 sterling silver, garnets. What else does she have in these? And the black parts are actually made from horn. So she's carved horn and painted it, and they're very delicate, but very much a statement and perfect for Halloween or anybody that you know who's super into goth stuff, of course. She makes gorgeous jewelry of all sorts. She just played. So we're kind of giving you a preview today, if you're just joining us, of our 2023 Novica collections for both Day of the Dead and Halloween, two distinct holidays that we're kind of showcasing together here in one today. And of course, if you are planning for those holidays, order now and they'll be shipped. Whatever you're ordering is going to be shipped direct from these amazing artisans all over the world directly to your doorstep in time for Halloween. So the earrings and the necklace that I'm showing you today are garnets and horn, amethyst also, and sterling silver. Mary says of the necklace, she bought this necklace. She says, "This has become a very favorite for me. It is striking, elegant, and extremely well made. Lovely, authentic stones." Yeah, you almost in the pictures can't see the quality of this, but she's a super high quality 5-star artisan designer in Bali that we work with. She has so many impassioned customers, and she made this for our Halloween showcase. So it's kind of fun, a thing we're doing today, stepping a little bit out of my usual comfort zone, talking about traditional arts and crafts. But again, through all these holidays tie back to really important and interesting, fascinating holidays that have evolved over the years.
And that necklace is a lot bigger than I thought it was. Like I told you, the picture doesn't
really
do justice for how big that is on your neck. I mean, it looks
That's one of my
it definitely looks like something fun for people that are going out to some Halloween parties.
Totally. Let's see. So earrings. Let's see. A little bit about the artisan. I get my notes here. So Ayu in Bali, she says, "I grew up in a village of carvers. I'm inspired mostly by nature and by the beautiful Balinese culture that surrounds me. I hope introducing my jewelry online will increase my sales so that I can provide good meals, a good education, and good healthcare for my family." I can gladly say she's already achieved that. Now that was our original interview with her when she joined Novica. She is one of our thousands of featured master craftsmen on the Novica website, and her life, like so many thousands of artisans' lives, that's truly been transformed by our whole model of shopping direct and all fair trade and all ethically made. So that is why Novica was founded in 1999, to change the world. And that's what we are all here to do in the way that we can. And that is through traditional arts and cultures, bringing them to you directly, cutting out all the levels of middlemen that used to keep artisans in many regions of the world, the remote regions where we live, often living in poverty, typically living in poverty. And now these artisans are able to set their own prices on Novica and earn very good prices, while at the same time, our customers are able to pay less also because they're shopping direct. So as we always say, why go to a box store when for the same price and often less, you can buy authentic, truly handmade, beautiful works of art. Apparel, home decor, jewelry are our main 3 categories, and that spans all sorts of subcategories, usually for less than at a big box store. And everything comes with a story. It comes to you with a little keepsake card that talks about the artisan and a little bit of the history of the item itself. And anyway, so it's an amazing experience and a really amazing gifting experience to get incredible handmade treasures from artisans in far distant lands. And then, of course, Novica handles all the shipping and packing, so everything seamlessly comes to you perfectly wrapped and Anyway, our customers know all about that. But for those of you just joining us, also be sure to visit Jenna in the comments. Jenna is always with us in the comments, answering any questions you have. And she's got all sorts of interesting questions to ask you too. All of your answers help you get in for the raffles. We do $50 giveaways throughout the show, and you automatically get entered into those random giveaways. So please engage with Jenna in the chat. And I read everything afterwards, and I love looking at the comments, and yeah, it helps me. Also, if you guys have tips and ideas for what we should do with the show, we would love to hear from you. We have so many regions of the world where we work with artisans and so many different cultures that we represent, and traditions and within different regions. You might have many different cultures. Like Mexico isn't one culture. It's so many different historic cultures. So many different villages have their own traditions and their own cultures and their own language, their own ethnic language groups. So there's an amazing world out there, and that's what we work very hard to bring you guys, all of our amazing millions of customers around the world, every day at Novica.com, and now through our brand new live show where you can purchase direct. If you anything that you see right now, you can go directly into the comments. You'll see the link to buy now. And I forgot to mention, everything on the show each week is 15% off during the live stream. So if you see something you like, now's the time to buy it. All the details, pricing, all that's in the comments. And the prices we're showing you on screen are the everyday Novica prices. So there's $15 or 15% off anything you see Jim showing you there in the subtitles. All right, so one more thing while we're on jewelry, we're going to start moving into Day of the Dead, but while we're still focused on Halloween, there is this amazing bracelet, cuff bracelet. It's for men or women. Let's see, what are the sizes on that? It extends to, 7 inches. So your wrist is 7 inches to 8.75. It'll fit you. And actually, I noticed that on the leather, you can make it extend even longer if you had a slightly longer wrist. That is made by Laurent Leger. He's in Bali. He's actually an expat from France. He grew up in the jewelry district in Paris. So he grew up surrounded by jewelry, and he ended up going to Bali for a textile company that he was working for, and fell so in love with the way of life there that he became a resident and has created his own line of jewelry. And he really tries to do avant-garde jewelry and mixing different cultures. He has a lot of European influence. Let's see what he says about his. He says, I'm a total jewelry autodidact. Like I told you, he came from Paris. And he says, his designs are inspired by classic European, African, and Asian influences. So yeah, but then he made this for our Day of the Dead. Well, he made this for our Halloween collection. So that's one of the things we're featuring today. It's all 100% pure leather with this brass that he's made, in this case with a skull. But he has so many interesting different designs too on Novica. Again, one of our popular 5-star artisans. If you go to Novica and type any of these artisans into the search engine on Novica, you'll pull up their whole collection, and you'll be able to read their whole extended biography and everything they tell us about each of their products. So it's really, this is the whole idea of Novica, that everything in your home and everything you wear, everything you put on your body, and everything you surround yourself in your life, it should have meaning, and it should help do good around the world too. Why not? Especially when, for the same prices as big box stores, you can be buying beautiful handmade works of art and ethical apparel and decor and jewelry that is actually benefiting the makers in a way that historically wasn't possible, especially in these remote regions of the world where many different middlemen stood between the creator and the beautiful art shop that you buy something like that at, making the price so inflated that it was a lot for customers. And at the end of the day, the artisans were making very, very little. So we've helped create some balance, and we're really proud of what we've been doing for the past 24 years at Novica, helping bring artisans and their customers directly together through the magic of the internet and through our artisan empowerment hubs. We have 10 all around the world working with artisans in remote regions. So again, if you're just joining us, visit Jen in the comments. She's giving away $50 gift certificates to the lucky winners from anybody that participates in the chat. She'll be letting you know afterwards if you're randomly drawn in those giveaways today. Oh, also these magical hats. Oh, this is going, okay, so this is Halloween still. but also going into some crafting traditions. So these are from India also. So I don't know if any of you guys know about felting. Also, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear what you guys make too at home. We have a lot of crafters that join us. I know after the show is, the show continues on Facebook and YouTube even after it's not live. And that's when a lot of our staff around the world watches it, and artisans around the world. So I've had some comments from artisans, which has been really great. I don't know who's watching today, but hopefully some of our artisans are on or will be joining us afterward. So these little set of 4 hats are super cute. They're kind of designed like ornaments, but you can hang those around maybe in your foyer on Halloween. But so they're all made of felt, so 100% natural. And I studied a little bit about felt when I stayed for a while in Mexico with some artisans that make beautiful Zapotec rugs. And I learned to weave rugs with them all the way from shearing the sheep to cleaning and dyeing the wool with all natural dyes. We use eucalyptus and cochineal bug extract that's, brilliant red. And we had, of course, card all this roughly shorn wool. So once the wool is carded, so you've it's basically like combing your hair. You comb your hair and you get out all the knots, and then you've got this carded wool. So to make felt like this, you take these thin layers of carded wool, and you lay them out, and you just start kind of rubbing them together, usually with soap and water. And then the little fibers in the wool start hooking together, and ultimately, that's how felt is made. Anyway, a little history about felt. These hats are by Ashish Mehta. She's actually in India. They're really, really cute. So they've got a buckle on the front, polka dots, 4 different colors. And she says, Deb ordered very similar ornaments from Ashish, some different Halloween ornaments. She said, these are so delightful and of such high quality. I ordered another set. You can't find anything half as nice at the store. These are made of nice, thick wool, not synthetic. I look forward to enjoying them every fall. Thank you. Yes, thank you, Deb. And thanks for being a great customer. Let me tell you a little bit about Ashish Mehta in India. She says, I became interested in carving when I was a child. I lost my father when I was 12. My mother worked very hard and struggled so my siblings and I could have a good future. I'm very proud of her. I'm very persistent and never give up. I dream about improving my community in the future. I'd like to open a clinic that offers free medicine to everyone because it's difficult to get proper treatment here due to the cost. Yes, he is a very popular now 5-star artisan and achieving a lot of his goals. Thanks to you guys, his amazing customers. So I'd love to send him some love today. If you guys like anything here that you're seeing today, go in the comments. You'll see the pinned comment that is the direct link to buy now. So you can watch at the same time that you're purchasing, which is fun and new for us. We haven't done this before until we just launched this live show. So we're on episode 5 now, and so grateful to you guys who are joining us back. We're going to be talking a little bit about culture and history, and then we're going to be diving into Day of the Dead in just a minute here. Oh, one more thing that can cross both those borders of Halloween and Day of the Dead are these beautiful glasses from Javier and Efrain in Mexico. They are 2 of our most popular glass blowers. And they did this for our Halloween collection. They did this set of 6 tumblers, but of course they can be used any time of the year. Very colorful and cheerful. And we have a video to show you about the hand blowing of glass. And it's got 5 million views, which is crazy. We were just looking at it recently thinking, oh my God, how did that happen? But of course, it's a fascinating process. Hand blowing is an amazing art form. And one thing that Rob, our co-founder, reminded all of us the other day was that you can always tell if something's hand blown glass versus machine made glass by the pontil. Pontil is this little divot you'll see at the bottom. And it's never going to be perfect because that's where they're going to be cutting off. You're going to see in the video that Jim's going to show you. They're going to blow the glass, and then when the hot molten glass is being snipped from the blower, it's going to leave a little dent, and that dent is called a pontil. So go to your cupboards and look at your glassware. If you don't have a rough little pontil there in the center, it's not hand blown. So the great thing is that this is all handmade, hand blown by Efrain and in Mexico. And Jim's going to show you that video in just a second. Oh, the other great thing about this is these guys love using just recycled glass. So we have a huge all recycled glass collection from them. We love that so many of our artisans are working towards restoring the environment, taking steps to mitigate environmental degradation, and trying to use locally sourced and natural products whenever possible, which is usually possible. So we're really proud of that aspect of Novica. We have a huge eco-friendly department in Novica where those are just real eco-friendly, recycled, upcycled products that we'd love you to check out too. So again, showing you the making of it. Here he's making a picture, but these are a set of 6. And if you like them and want to buy them and have them ready for Halloween to serve your guests and your family, those you can buy right now in the chat with Jenna. You'll see there's a link to buy directly while you're still watching, so you don't have to lose what else I'm going to show you. And you can put those in your shopping cart and add anything that you see today into your shopping cart and then check out at the end. And let's see. So these are 16 ounces, about 6 inches high. They are dishwasher safe. Susan says these glasses are a generous size. She's a customer that bought these recently. And in such a happy color, I'm using them with electric candle lights as well as for drinking. So yeah, of course you can also put a little electric light in there and, you know, line your walkway on Halloween with those leading up to your house. Buy a couple sets. And then you've got, you know, you can create a whole pathway of votives with these. I love them. And the price is amazing. And of course, 15% off everything right now if you buy during the live stream. So while I'm still live. By the way, Javier and Efren have been showcased because of their popularity with Novica and Novica being such an interesting business model. We've had so much press over the years, and way back in the beginning, 24 years ago, they were started getting featured in magazines. So they've been in Sunset Magazine, Miami Herald, all sorts of publications, and their success has really grown. They've been able to hire so many different master artisans from their whole area, which is so much of our mission. We want to spread the love and increase the sales and livelihood for villages around the world, especially remote regions that otherwise don't have access to great sales and the internet. And we're really proud of what we do. And that's how we are working every day to help change the world. And everybody can help change the world in whatever realm you're in. It's just a matter of figuring out a way that you can morph your own passions into that. And for us who love traditional cultures and handcrafts, we decided that this was the way that we could make an impact. And so that's why we launched in 1999, 24 years ago. And we've grown to be the leading handcraft website in the world, all fair trade website. And let's see, so what more can I say? So more than for 30 years, they have Javier Gutierrez and Efren Cantares have worked together to preserve Mexico's blown glass artistry. Efren says, I love blown glass because of the pure imagination poured into every one of my pieces. He said, I was 15 years old when I began blowing glass. Now I have the opportunity to teach the art of blowing hot glass to other young artisans. I start by employing people as my assistants, aiming to train them to be experts, glass blowers equipped with a beautiful and useful skill. So those are the glasses today. And
we do have a question from Bill, Catherine, that I thought it was an interesting question.
Yeah.
He wanted to know if there is a way for to request custom items from the artisans. So if he liked the skull bracelet and wanted a belt, could he do something like that?
That's a great question, Bill. Thanks for asking. Yes, to some extent. If you are going to do, we have a really busy department in wholesale and corporate gifts for artisans that are able to up their capacity. So yes, for those, if you're going to order in a larger quantity, yes. Small quantities, we just can't actually do that because we work with so many thousands of artisans. We wish we could, but our 167 staff members around the world are already so tapped out just trying to keep up with demand that we haven't yet figured out a way to do that. But if you are looking at doing corporate gifts, which a lot of our customers might be, or they might be able to refer their corporate gift buyers and their companies to us, which we would love and appreciate, and so would the artisans, then yes, we can definitely make all sorts of custom designs, logos. We know which artisans are able to do that and to scale their capacity and hire, their whole village to help fulfill demand in that way. So yes, in that case, you'd talk to our wholesale department. You can find that on the Novica.com website. And we can also post that in the chat later. Thank you, Bill. Good question. One day that might be possible. Okay, so let's see. Okay, we're moving on to the ceramic. Okay, we're kind of shifting now a little more towards Day of the Dead. We're still in Halloween mode, and then we're going to cross over and make a big switch. This right now is from a Mexican artisan who is also showcasing. He's showcasing this both in the Halloween and Day of the Dead showcases at Novica. Again, this is a little preview if you're just joining us of our 2023 holiday Halloween and Day of the Dead showcases. Two very distinct holidays, obviously, different cultural holidays, but very much aligned in terms of when you need to shop, which is right now if you want to get these delivered to your home in time for the holidays. So this, I love this beautiful ceramic. This is actually designed as a candle holder. So it's open in the back. And it's a Talavera ceramic. Now, Talavera style ceramics came from Spain, so with the Spanish conquest to Mexico and other areas of Latin America, but really took off in Mexico in particular. And you'll find Talavera style works of art of all kinds, and of course traditional tiles and vases and tableware from so many of our amazing master artisans in Mexico, each of whom has their own biography, of course, on the Novica website. So this is from one artisan who designed this for Halloween to hold a candle, and I just love it. But you'll see all the different colors that are very typical of Talavera motifs. And then, of course, he's put a nice pumpkin on the front. So that, okay, let me tell you a little bit about that. That's by Juan Ponce in Mexico. He's also one of our 5-star designers, artisan designers. He, by the way, right now has 58 different creations live. So we just got a couple Halloween and many Day of the Dead items. And then he also makes beautiful tableware. So you can buy whole collections of his tableware, plates, serving bowls, dishes, and that kind of thing. So I think he might have some teapots and tea sets as well. Let's see. He says a little bit about him. Yeah, and he also does handcrafted ceramic jewelry, which is beautiful. So he'll take the Talavera style ceramics that he hand makes, and he'll make pieces, for jewelry, and then he will mix that with sterling silver and create beautiful earrings and necklaces. So you can see all that. He didn't make this necklace, but he made some gorgeous designs that could be worn any time of the year, and you'll see that at his collection at novica.com. He says, our father lives on in our legacy. He showed us the value of tenacity and resistance in the face of life's challenges. He said, I was born in the Mexican state of Guanajuato, where Don Miguel Hidalgo left his ceramic heritage to the native peoples of our region. Don Miguel was a Catholic priest / revolutionary who is also known as the father of Mexican independence. So anyway, he really had a lot of the local peoples working in ceramics and to develop a business in ceramics. So that's kind of where that stems from. Fortunately, all the people in that area and in many different parts of Mexico have taken on and made this their own business. But his legacy lives on through these creations that he introduced from Spain, the idea of Talavera style. So he says, yes, today we're continuing his active legacy. He says, again, this is Juana Ponce, who is the ceramicist here. She says, working with Talavera-inspired ceramics is fascinating. I draw inspiration from what the ceramics transmit, tradition and characteristic colors from our vibrant Mexican culture. When it comes to jewelry, I enjoy being able to combine the Talavera style with silver, a really elegant touch. She said, working as a family is very important to me. It allows us to bring our points of view to the table with more freedom and simplicity. Together, we reaffirm our identity. So that's Juana Ponce, 5-star.
I really like that piece too. That's one of my favorites. That candle holder. I mean, you could even put it out on your patio. Just gotta hope that the trick-or-treaters don't try to do anything to it. But
totally. Or you can totally use it as a light, or you could even fill it with candy and then just reach in and hand it out.
Yeah.
Rogelia bought a very similar lantern. So many of these, everything's handmade, so everything's a little bit different. But anyway, Rogelia bought a similar lantern from Juana. She says, perfectly packaged in beautifully bright colors. Definitely a great purchase. Thank you. Yes. And of course, we handle all packaging and shipping to make sure it gets to you safe and unbroken. It will ship to you from our Artisan Empowerment Hub in Mexico. Okay, now, oh my gosh, we are heading closer to Day of the Dead. I'm really excited to get into Day of the Dead too. Okay, this serving holder is by Armando Sobrera, also in Mexico. You can see in the close-up the center there with the skull. So this can definitely be either, it's definitely, he designed this as a Day of the Dead holder for all sorts of little trinkets, for the sweet bread that is, so again, Day of the Dead is so different than Halloween. So Day of the Dead is November 1st and 2nd. It's a very joyous holiday, a reunion of family living and past. So it's a time to really celebrate those we love that are no longer with us, as well as those still alive. And it tends to be a very joyful and celebratory mood, as opposed to Halloween, which is a little darker, although we have fun with it. And so there's, oh my gosh, sweet breads that you'll find beautifully decorated with skulls and sugar, you know, it's like a sugar bread. And the whole concept of that traditional sugar bread, by the way, and Una was telling me about this also earlier, I'd forgotten, is that that Day of the Dead has a sweetness to it, that death isn't scary, that it's part of life, and that it's a part of us all, and that it needn't be a scary thing. So Day of the Dead really brings in a lot of humor and joy and happy spirits. So you'll see a lot of really happy skeletons on Day of the Dead. And so he designed this dish kind of as a crossover for either holiday. And I put peanuts in it because that's a long personal story. When I was a little girl, and still I really avoid regular sugar anyway. But when I was a little girl, we strictly were forbidden from having any sugar. Thank you, Dad, who's probably watching. But of course, when we loved Halloween. Of course, we'd go out there with stand at our door with the Halloween offerings. But we were those neighbors that gave away the walnuts in the shell. We weren't giving away the Milky Ways, and so I'm sure people didn't love that so much. And then the little raisin boxes. Remember those little raisin boxes? Ours were, of course, all organic and not commercial. But anyway, so just give me a little bit of a laugh today to put the peanuts in this. But Michael, who does the merchandising for us for these shows, he suggested that great tray for candies. By the way, it feels amazing. Of course, this is all handmade ceramic, right? And hand painted. I don't know if you can see the detail there, but yeah, it's very textural. Like there's it's a raised finish, but and very kind of a porous. It's not a glazed ceramic, so it's not really meant for baking, although it is food safe and dishwasher safe. But it's really designed to hold candy for trick-or-treaters, or the sweet breads for Day of the Dead, or the beautiful skull candies that are also sugar skulls that are so popular as candy treats in Mexican culture for Day of the Dead too. So you could just overflow it with that. And let's see. And remember, everybody, so 15% off any of the prices that Jim is showing you here on the screen today if you buy during the live stream. So that's the bonus of shopping now. And you can find that buy now link directly in the comments, where Jenna is there to answer any questions and help you find the link to buy now while you're still watching. Put stuff in your cart, and let's send some love to these artisans. We'd be so grateful. They'd be so grateful. We're all here to do one thing, and that's help change the world and have fun while we're doing it, and learn about different cultures and traditions and art from around the world. And so again, Novica is the leading fair trade marketplace. We feature anywhere in the world. We feature handmade jewelry, handmade ethical apparel, and every type of home decor you can imagine from artisans all over the world. We're really busy right now with getting ready for Thanksgiving and for Halloween and Day of the Dead. So all the artisans have their showcases together for gorgeous tableware for Thanksgiving. This is when you need to be looking at that stuff if you're going to order it and have it ready for and gifts for your hosts. If you're going to be a guest at a Thanksgiving gift gathering, now's the time to start shopping. All right, moving on. Carmen from Chicago bought this. She says, beautiful, rich details. I love this. Oh, the serving tray. She said it's thick and heavy, has gorgeous detailing, and it's just all around quality. Came well packed and protected. Again, that's by Armando Sobrera in Mexico. I don't know, do you have this picture handy, Jim? I would love to tell you a little bit about him. He said, the world of ceramics is complex and enigmatic. A ceramist must be committed in every aspect of the crafting process and be willing to learn every single day. When I started working in my ceramics, my goal was to reinvent the Talavera style. We want to create utilitarian objects aligned with the trends in interior design. Now, he's referring to color choices. So This is a very typical traditional talavera style that originally came from Spain with the Spanish conquest into Mexico. We were telling you about Don Hidalgo earlier, the revolutionary priest that really got people making this in Mexico. This style you'll see in tiles and all sorts of serveware and vases and jars and tableware. But the artist I'm telling you about right now, Armando Sobrera, who makes this dish in a more muted colors. So when he's talking about trying to redefine the style of talavera, he's using the same techniques to create the ceramics, but he's really focusing more on colors that can be incorporated into more modern living spaces. So as you can see from my house, I love really colorful stuff and traditional things. There are people also that prefer to have like a more monochromatic look. So he makes all sorts of things in simpler color schemes, as well as some of the traditional colors too. He says, your purchases have exceeded our expectations. We want to continue growing and sharing this beautiful vision with you. We're very excited because it is only the beginning of this adventure. With our work, we share a bit of ourselves and of our wonderful family. All right, thank you, Armando. And again, if you like anything you're seeing today, highly recommend you hit the Buy Now button and put it in your shopping cart. You don't even have to go to the Novica website if you're buying during the live stream or shortly thereafter. And you automatically are going to get 15% off if you're shopping now while we're talking. So we would love to let these artisans know that people are watching and appreciating what they are making. We're going to move on now to the Resurrection Ceramic Planter. That's by Fernando and Magali Pedro in Mexico. And again, the prices that Jim is showing you there, those are the everyday Novica prices, which are probably better than anything you're going to find at a box store, but all made possible. And then the artisans are making so much more because all our Novica is fair trade. So artisans are making more, customers are paying less. The only way we can do that is by cutting out multiple levels of international middlemen that always stood between the creator and the buyer. And so everybody wins. And that's how we've decided to help change the world in the way that we can, through arts and crafts and connecting people directly. Also, one of the things, I shouldn't go off on these tangents perhaps because I have so much more to show you, but one of the things that's so exciting about Novica is, to me personally, having been here helping even with the launch back in year 2000, and that's that we are impassioned about bridging cultural divides and borders and really helping bring the world together and bringing people together that don't know enough about each other. My whole mission in life personally is peace, and anything peace related. I always have peace themes in my house that I've told you about in past episodes. But one of the ways that we can all help manifest that is by connecting directly with other peoples and other cultures that we don't know about. And supporting people in other parts of the world where we can create a more equitable balance. And one of the ways that is manifest is through fair trade. That's how we have chosen to take that bite out of the puzzle. And so we are so grateful for our millions of customers around the world. We ship to more than 80 countries and working with artisans in many, many different countries in Asia, Africa, and Latin America. And that's why we do it. And we know that our customers understand that and really get it. So if you're new to Novica, that's what we're about. If you're a customer that's been with us, you already know what we're all about. And I'm so grateful for you to be here watching the show and to be supporting all these incredible, talented master artisans. All right. So we are moving on now, yes, to this Resurrection Ceramic Planter by Fernando and Magali in Mexico. And that price, again, is the everyday Novica price. And again, if you buy it right now, put it in your shopping cart, buy it during the live stream, 15% off everything I'm showing you today. Be sure to check in with Jenna in the comments. She's giving away a $50 gift certificates throughout the show to randomly picked winners. But if you're not in the comments, she's not going to know, and she'll get with you later and make sure you get a gift certificate. Okay, so Barro Negro. Oh my gosh, this tradition. So we're looking at a skull right here, and this is an amazing work of art. Barro Negro, also, it's a tradition that goes way back, but this type of black, always black, very dark, amazing, black, shiny ceramic, you'll see it in all sorts of forms, in pottery of all kinds, in vases, in works of art, but it all goes back to a village in Oaxaca. All right, I got to tell you a little bit about this. It actually dates back to the Monte Alban period. And the Monte Alban ruins, you may, if you visited the state of Oaxaca, Mexico, you may have visited them. They're gorgeous pre-Columbian ruins it's an archaeological site, easy to visit. From that dates back, this pottery dates back to that archaeological era and that city, if you will, in about 500 BC. But all the original pottery that was in the Barro Negro was usually always this very pale grayish color. So historically, dating back to then, it was always grayish. But then there was this lady, Doña Rosa, and I've been to her house in Mexico. She's also, of course, in Oaxaca. In the 1950s, she discovered that by rubbing the pottery when it was starting to harden but not yet fully dry, she would rub it with a quartz stone. So she'd really kind of compress the ceramic, again, the wet ceramic, she'd really compress it with a quartz stone. So she rubbed it all over, and then she would fire it at a little bit of a lower temperature, and it ended up creating this black look that is so distinct. So if you see that anywhere in the world, this Barro Negro style has become very famous worldwide. In fact, Rockefeller collected it, and he actually collected the works of Doña Rosa, who invented it in the state of Oaxaca. And our artisans, so it's become a very popular style. So many artisans dedicate their whole lives to making just this style of ceramics. Barro Negro. Negro, of course, means black in Spanish. So it's, and barro refers to the ceramics. So black ceramic is what the translation is. What else can I tell you? So the artisans making this particular skull for Day of the Dead and or Halloween, they are Fernando and Magali Pejo. They're originally from her same village, San Bartolo, Coyotepec. They extract the black mud from a mine at the foot. This is a quote. We extract black mud from a mine at the foot of our hill, right here in our community. We soak it and strain it carefully to remove stones, roots, sand, and everything that is not mud, because they end up being with a very, very fine clay. So it's very highly sifted. We knead it and make the figure. Once the figure is made, we give it a finish, whether open work, engraved, or burnished. So like with the skull, you saw some of the finishes and designs on that. We let the pieces dry, and we cook them in wood ovens to give the color to the clay. Now, so many people now are shifting over to more use of, they've found other ways to create the same Barro Negro effect. She says, for example, we work with a reduction of oxygen at the time of firing our pieces. The smoke impregnates the clay, and that is what turns it black. This entire procedure takes 20 to 25 days from the time the mud is extracted from the mine until we make the piece and finish it. So every one of these pieces is a work of art, and that's our artisans there, Fernando and Magali, that you're seeing in the picture. They say traditions such as community festivals, stewardships, and the tradition of going to the mine to extract this mud are still being preserved in our artisan community, where we have 400 artisan families dedicated to Barro Negro arts. Our customs and traditions have not been lost. And she said she's very proud of their village and their community, and she loves working. And there is a case where, yes, Bill, for corporate gifts and other things, yes, you could ask them to make, if you're doing a larger order, a special design or maybe an imprint of a logo on one of their works of art. Again, if there's a larger quantity order, we could work with the artisans, and they can help hire other master ceramists with the Barro Negro technique in their community to make a wholesale order. So yes, we love doing that. Any chance, anybody out there, regular, normal customers that just buy for yourselves and for gifts, if you have an opportunity to provide any of these artisans with a larger order for your shop, your favorite shop nearby, you tell your shop owner about that, or for corporate gifts at the holidays, please contact our corporate gifts department. We'd love to work with you and send some more love to these amazing artisans. All right, let's see. Oh, Justin bought that ceramic skull that we were showing you. He said, amazing, super cool, great price, much love gift, thank you. And then, okay, we're going to turn next to another black floral skull that's starting to drift even more towards the Day of the Dead look. This is by Javier Ramirez in Mexico. He's calling it the black floral skull. So you can actually see in that skull all the flowers. It's very reminiscent of the Tree of Life sculptures, which are so popular and which he really specializes in. He has so many incredible Tree of Life designs, which is a whole nother story we told you about in a previous episode, and we're going to go deep in that in a future episode. So he's combined that here for the Day of the Dead, which you'll see very commonly done. Day of the Dead is such a colorful, festive, and positive, it's, again, 2 days actually, November 1st and 2nd holiday. And so you'll see that so well represented in this candle holder. So that is about 7.5 inches high, just to give you a sense of scale, since I don't have it here in hand. It has the Tree of Life elements, he says, bright butterflies, colorful blossoms. Sheila of Michigan purchased a different Tree of Life from him. She said, amazing. The amount of detail and the vivid colors of this piece are astounding. It is absolutely beautiful. I have one of his Tree of Lives too, and I just love it. I love every one of those little pieces is a piece of ceramic he's hand molded, fired, and painted and added to the piece. So let's see, Fernando says of a different design that he purchased, another customer. This is my second piece by this artisan. I am not disappointed. Beautifully detailed craftsmanship. It arrived well packaged for the journey. I am always satisfied with shipping from Novica. Thanks for taking the care. You're welcome. We love doing that through our artisan empowerment hubs, all staffed by locals, by the way. And we have these big artisan empowerment hubs in 10 different regions of the world, so we can help work directly with artisans in remote regions and help them get their incredible works of art directly to you so that they can earn more and that you can pay less often than you'd pay at a big box store for much, much higher quality that comes with it carrying the artisan's story, biography, history, and handmade love. And I'll tell you, one of the other interesting things about buying direct from the artisans, not only are you supporting them and encouraging these traditions to survive because it's becoming economically feasible, by shopping direct, but they're just also so appreciative of this direct interaction with the customers, and artisans read all of your reviews absolutely on the website. So please review your products that you buy. They love and they talk about their reviews, and they're so proud of their reviews. So that's the other benefit of buying directly, of course, that the artisan has their pride behind and their name behind each piece. And almost all of these pieces are hand signed. Of course, all the ceramics are hand signed by the artisan. So the pride of artistry is delivered to you. And that's why they make sure that the pieces are amazing and truly works of art. And they know you're going to review them, and they really want you to love them. So very different experience than buying in a large store. Next up, we are going to, retablo is a whole nother type of art in Mexico that, in Peru. They're dioramas. They're made in wood boxes, and they're filled with ceramic works of art. And so one of our artisans in Peru that is impassioned about these retablos, aka dioramas, he also wanted to have some offerings for our new Day of the Dead and Halloween showcase. So he created this. It says, hasta la muerte nos separe. So we will not be separated until death. It's this particular one is a little wedding scene. I don't know if you can see that. It's so much detail. So those are ceramic figurines he painstakingly makes by hand. And then he carves this out of a very an unusual but not rare and environmentally friendly wood that is environmentally sustainable. I'm going to see what that wood is. Got my notes somewhere on that. But anyway, each one of these pieces is handmade ceramics, and that's by Julio Gallardo in Peru. If you put his name or retablo, type retablo into the search engine at novica.com, you'll see so many works of art by him that are just extraordinary for all seasons. And this just happens to be what he's done for Day of the Dead and Halloween. So anyway, you put that. He's also put a little hanger on it, so you can actually hang it on your wall quite easily in your foyer, perhaps, or put it out on your table next to where you're doing your trick-or-treating, or put it on your altar for Day of the Dead ceremonies and celebrations on November 1st and 2nd, if you love the Day of the Dead culture, as many of us do. So it says, hasta la muerte contigo, until death I will be with you, so I love that. Anyway, it's a wedding scene, and very much in the traditional Day of the Dead style, where the skeletons are celebrating, and it's a happy thing. It's to not fear death. That's so much of the theme of Day of the Dead, that our loved ones are still with us, and that we celebrate them and bring them back into our family reunions on the Day of the Dead celebrations on November 1st and 2nd. Okay, so what can I tell you about that? He's calling it Calavera Wedding by Julio Gallardo in Peru. Very traditional retablo, matrimonial scene in a graveyard, brass hinges, box made of Peru. Oh yeah, I was telling you about the wood. It's tornillo wood, so it's considered an environmentally friendly type of wood. Yania says this is art beyond beautiful. She's one of his customers. Angela, another one of his customers through Novica, says of a different retablo, also by him. I can't get enough of looking at the details. It's so beautifully done. I love it. I mean, it really is an amazing work of art. Of course, you can close up the little doors too. But anyway, perfect altarpiece if you're doing Day of the Dead, or perfect for your little stand at your front door when you're doing Halloween. Be sure to order it now to make sure it gets there in plenty of time for the holidays. You can talk to Jenna in the chat right now where she's giving away $50 gift certificates, and you can put it in your shopping cart. Right there in the chat, you'll see the link to buy now. And if you buy now, everything's 15% off, which makes a big difference on these items for sure. And that's only during the live stream. So make sure you put it in your cart now and check out during the live stream if you want to buy that. We love that. Hasta la muerte nos separe. We all want that, right? That we're going to be with our loved one until our dying day. I love that sentiment. So he says, Julio says, I'll tell you a little bit about him. This is an interesting, he is so impassioned, by the way, about retablo. It's just like his whole life's work. I mean, as is the case for so many of these amazing master artisans we work with, but his level of passion for retablo art, which are all these little boxes with the ceramics inside that he hand makes, is just above and beyond. And he really gets us all excited when he talks about it. And when we interviewed him, he said, I worked in a retablo workshop where it was forbidden to teach certain techniques to others. So he worked as an employee in another shop for a long time when he was very young. He said it was forbidden to teach the certain techniques to other people. I enjoyed the craft so much that I decided to learn everything, and I would come home at night and attempt to replicate what I'd done that day. This is how I perfected my technique, and I realized that this is what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. Wait till you see all his different designs. Again, this is what he's offered us for Day of the Dead and Halloween for our showcase that you're getting a little preview of today. But he has so many different designs for all seasons, and he has a lot of collectors among his Novica customers that just love these retablo art and have them up on shelves and all around their home. And there's something for every season. You also put it in the middle of a table, depending on the season of the scene in it. You can put it in as a centerpiece, table when you have a dinner party. And boy, that's the other great thing about buying directly from these artisans, is that there comes a story with each piece that you purchase. So whether it's the jewelry you're wearing, or like these earrings that come, with an amazing story of the artisan that made them, or if it's the glassware that you're drinking out of, like from Javier and Efrain today, or the art around your home, to have a story about it rather than just bought it from an anonymous store, to have purchased it direct from the artisan, where it carries with it a culture, a story, a history, and their biography. Oh, boy, you never run out of conversation in a home like that, as I know from my own experiences. He says, I really love my work because it allows me to capture any scene, any thought or piece of music or idea in a wooden box, and deepens the meaning in each detail. He said, I'm very passionate about my creations because they reflect my Peruvian culture, our traditions, our people, the streets and country of my birth. He said, I dream of exhibiting my works around the world and becoming one of the best in my field. I am determined to work very hard so my son will be very proud of his father, and my wonderful family will be part of this dream. I thank you for opening the doors around the world to show that Peruvian art is very valuable and beautiful. That's what he said when we interviewed him. And I think we're making that dream come true for him. So, all right. If you like any of these works of art, make sure you put them in your shopping cart now and check out while we're live so you get the 15% discount, which we're giving during all of our live shows right now so far. And also be sure you're engaging in the comments with Jenna. I'm going to read all the comments later, and I love to hear from you guys. Also, give me tips and ideas. What would you like to see different? What else would you like to see that we haven't covered yet? Would love to hear from you and read your feedback. And Jenna is going to be giving away beautiful Novica gift certificates, which come in the mail, ready for you to either enjoy and splurge on yourself, or to give as an amazing gift. And it tells a little bit of the story about Novica, our mission to help change the lives of artisans around the world, make the world a better place through traditional cultures and fair trade. And anyways, beautiful embossed card. It'll come to you delivered in the mail. So be sure you're chatting with her in the comments, or you can't be you can't be a winner. So please. And we're so grateful, of course, the reason for chatting and for hitting that like button, which we're so grateful for, is that we're trying to get more visibility for the show, so we can keep this going forever and just keep showing you guys more and more. I would love to make this a daily show, but that needs you guys to start liking it and commenting and sharing it, so that we can bring more of these artisans to you directly and their stories live and help change more lives around the world. But we're relying on you for hitting that like button and the comments and the share. That's the only way the show's going to gain visibility. So yes, we have an ulterior motive and that's that, but it's all for good cause. So thank you for participating. We're so grateful. Let's see. All right. We're moving on to La Catrina Regina. That's the name of this next sculpture we're going to show you. This is true Day of the Dead statuette by Luis Morales in Mexico. He specializes just in Catrinas, which are these sculptures. He makes them out of clay. You'll see Catrinas made out of different things, but these are such omnipresent presence at Day of the Dead festivities, on altars and in parties, and the way people dress. So instead of dressing like I have today, if even more on the Halloween scale, I would be dressed more as a Catrina if I was going out for Day of the Dead celebrations. I'd be dressed maybe more like this, wearing some of these are huichol beads that are from my own collection. This is a beautiful necklace I love to wear. That's a story for another day. But yes, so you'll see all of this look more in the Catrinas and for Day of the Dead. Lots of flowers, lots of bright colors and cheer, because again, part of the whole theme behind it is that death isn't scary, that our loved ones continue to live on with us, and that we have these family reunions during Day of the Dead among the living and those that have deceased. We honor them with altars and sweets, sweet breads and sweet skull candies that are very traditional, that take a little bit of the bite out of death and remind us that it's of sweetness and positivity, and that it's not necessarily the dark thing that we think of more for Halloween and graveyards. Let's see. So Catrina Regina that you're looking at right now, she has a macaw on each shoulder. Yeah, you can see that, and flowers in her hair. I don't have that in person, but I wanted to make sure to show you some of his amazing Catrinas. And that is available right now if you want to buy now. I think there's only one of those, maybe two. Again, everything we do is handmade, so there's not a lot of depth to these, but if you like it, put it in your shopping cart and make sure you check out while we're live so you get the 15% discount. The Catrina figures date back to a satirical etching in 1910 or so by a Mexican artist, Jose Guadalupe Posada. So his etching, it was just one etching he did, but he was really poking fun at the Mexican aristocracy trying to dress like the European aristocracies rather than kind of claim its own culture. So he was making fun of that aspect of culture in his own land. And then that really took off. And Diego Rivera, the famous muralist from Mexico, he started incorporating Catrinas and expanding on that concept in some of his mural art. And then they really became so much of the Day of the Dead. And right now that the Catrina is really kind of the icon of Day of the Dead. If there needed to be one, it would be the Catrina doll. So this statuette is 13.5 inches high, just to give you a little sense of scale. What else can I tell you? Pat purchased one. She's from the same artisan, Luis Morales. She says, Pat says, unbelievable quality every step of the way, exclamation mark. I'm still stunned at the quality of the packaging. And that's, of course, we're very proud at Novica. Our artisan empowerment hubs do an amazing job. And if any of you guys are watching today or later after the show is no longer live, thank you for everything you do. We have incredible staff all around the world making all these dreams come true for artisans and connecting them directly with customers, making sure we ship everything, quality control, everything seamlessly to you. We have the best return policy in the world too, and the artisans don't have to deal with any returns. They come back to us in the US. And so you can be sure we're very, very careful with the packing and shipping quality control to minimize any returns. And we have like the lowest return rate in history of the world because we really go the extra mile for everybody, as do the artists, to create really beautiful works of art. Iris purchased a different Katrina. She said she purchases Katrinas to remember those who have come before. She's a collector of Katrinas. She said, I had such a hard time deciding on which one of these to pick from the current collection. She said, the detail is amazing and the painting is so exact. I will probably need to order another one from this artist because I was so impressed. So yes, our artisans tend to get very impassioned customers who go back and buy from them again and again. And each one of our artisans, when you see their biography on the Novica.com website, you'll see all their customer reviews. And you'll see how impassioned people get and how almost every artisan is a 5-star artisan. I don't know if I've seen one yet that isn't, because we go the extra mile and the artisans do too. Okay, next up, gosh, I got to move along here. We're running over already. Mummy Duck is the next thing up. That's kind of a whimsical Day of the Dead or Halloween little sculpture. It's a wooden hand-carved sculpture by Ira S. in Sumatra. She's from Sumatra. So she does actually very true to life bird sculptures that are so popular with bird collectors. So she has so many followers and collectors that she does very true to life sculptures, but she wanted to give us a few things to enter. So we've shown you 3 of her things today into our Day of the Dead and also our Halloween showcase. This kind of crosses over for both. So it's all hand carved, and then she's carefully painted it. She's calling this a mummy duck, so kind of a little bit of Egyptian mythology reality in there, mixed with the Day of the Dead and or Halloween. In that case, it could be either, even though those holidays are both quite distinct in their own ways. She says, after a long dream in its royal chamber, again harkening back to Egypt, the ancient Mr. Duck awakes to see a new world. And that's part of a whole adorable collection she's done for the Day of the Dead. Could you show us the next 2 also, Jim, that she is showing us? We have to move through this a little bit more quickly because I'm running out of time. She says, oh, Mark from Texas, he's one of her collectors. He purchased a very true-to-life kestrel sculpture from Ira. And again, this is a more whimsical line she's just done to be in our Halloween and Day of the Dead showcases. But he said, very impressed with the skilled paintwork and beautiful attention to detail. Yeah, bird watchers are among her favorite collectors. So thank you, Ira, for doing these fun sculptures for us just for this showcase. Those 3 are, again, the prices Jim is showing you are our normal everyday Novica prices, which are already low to begin with because you're buying direct from the artisan. Live experience while we're live, 15% off everything you put in your shopping cart. So please show these artisans some love. We're so grateful. They are so grateful. We're all working together to help change the world for the better. And the way we are doing that here at Novica is through fair trade. And the way you're doing it in one way is by patronizing these amazing artisans and shopping direct, helping support fair trade and also ethical apparel. Okay, now we're going to move really quickly into a few beautiful works of fine art, paintings and etchings. So first up, we're going to show you Lotteria Tequiaria. It's a signed, numbered, limited edition ink drawing. I just added a few of these because they're in the theme of Halloween and Day of the Dead. And or Day of the Dead. That's from Marina Pallares in Mexico. And again, any of these are available right now. I think there's just one of those left. But you can put it in your shopping cart right now and check out while we're live, 15% off everything. Artisans make full price. We're taking the discount because we want to help promote these artisans through the live show. So don't have no fear, they're still earning their full price. And artisans do set their own prices on Novica, which is so much of what made us very revolutionary in 1999 when we launched. And we're very proud to help artisans and entire village communities in many cases by helping bring their works of art directly to you. All right, so that's ink on Liberian paper, signed, numbered, limited edition. It's very small. It's about 7.5 inches high, including the amazing paper that she has it on. The image itself is 4.3 inches high, just to give you a sense of scale. Aqua Fortis and aquatint etching techniques. She says a mischievous devil spikes the agave field surrounded by musical instruments and a serape shawl. And in that card, it's marked number 2. Now, this is a whole thing. The Mexican Lotteria, different than the lottery, which they also have. But the Mexican Lotteria is a game that very much traces back to like our bingo. It's very much like our bingo, but the cards have on them very distinct Mexican images, which she plays with here and makes new versions with in her art. So she's done a whole collection of these limited edition ink on paper. Yeah. So anyway, you'll still see the Mexican Loteria themes and the Loteria itself, very popular, schools, fairs, festivals, that kind of thing. Payera says, I grew up in Jalisco. This is the artisan, or the artist in this case, fine artist. I grew up in Jalisco, Mexico, known for the production of tequila from agave plants. And as a child, I used to play Loteria all the time. This inspired me to create this tequila lotto series. And I'm saying tequila, but tequila is how I would say it here. La Calavera is the next of her pieces of fine art that we're showing you. Signed, also numbered, limited edition ink print or ink drawing, also by Marina Payares. I thought you'd get a kick out of that, just since we're talking about Day of the Dead and also Halloween. That could work for both. That's card number 28 in the Mexican Loteria theme. Angela says she's purchased a few from this collection. She says, I love this entire collection. I've purchased many of Marina's artworks and I'm never disappointed. I get so many compliments and love seeing this art every day in my home. Thank you. Well, thank you, Angela, for being a great customer of Marina and of Novica.com. We're so grateful to you. We are ever growing and expanding. We just opened an office in Armenia and also in Central Asia, which I'm going to tell you all about. I just got back from Central Asia recently and have stories to tell you about that in a future episode. Okay, one more, last one for the day before we leave. And I do have to go to a celebration of life from my dear departed neighbor, Pam, who I love and miss very much. But it is going to be a celebration of life, and we're going to remember all the wonderful things about her. So that's coincidental, but definitely we'll be remembering her this year on Day of the Dead, November 1st and 2nd, when we honor all those family members and friends that have passed, and we invite them back into our lives for those 2 days and really consider it a family reunion of our living loved ones and our past loved ones. So this last painting is, this is a beautiful oil on canvas, and this is also part of a series of cats, not necessarily Halloween themed, but I thought this fit the bill. This is by Siriwan Lohachchiwa in Thailand, one of our popular fine artists in Thailand. Let's see, stoic gaze, very naive style. She says of her series, these of cats, these paintings are of my own cats. They taught me how to live my life and be strong. She currently has 4 different paintings of cats featured on the Novica.com website. They're only one of a kind. They're all original art, so just one of a kind in the case of the original paintings. If you like this one, put it in your shopping cart. There's only one. I just thought it was so perfect for the Halloween theme preview that we're doing for you today. And again, remember, now is the time to order if you're ordering for either holiday of Halloween or Day of the Dead, because we need to ship to you from these regions. So we can do really affordable, very inexpensive shipping if you order soon. Of course, we do have express shipping too, but yeah, and shipping is so reasonable on any of these things. It's usually $3 or $5. We have amazing, that's a whole nother story, how we manage to do shipping so inexpensively and well. We'll get into that in another episode. Let me tell you just about Siri One a little bit. She says, my inspiration comes from my childhood experiences. I was surrounded by a lovely environment that motivated me to paint. She's an award-winning painter. She's won many awards in both Thailand and in Japan. So she's an amazing fine artist. And that wraps up. I don't have time to recap today. I need to leave and go bid farewell to my dear friend Pam and my neighbor Pam. And I'm going to change into some slightly more solemn attire. And I'm going to see you guys back here next Thursday at noon, every Thursday at noon. And please like, share. And even if you're watching this afterward, after the live stream, please like, share, and sign up to get notified so that we can make sure we're in your living room or your office next week, noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And thank you guys so much for joining us. This was fun, a little bit off the cuff today with preparing this preview for you, but we hope you enjoyed it. And again, all these things right now for the next hour or so, I think almost an hour, will be available still. If you click on the link in the live stream, you can still keep shopping. But then once that ends, then you'll find them on the Novica website. And Jenna's going to post a link in the comments after the show to where you can find those. She'll probably do that tomorrow, where you can find all those items if you missed buying them now during the live stream. But again, 15% off if you do it before that closes down, and that window will be open for another 45 minutes or so, I think. So thank you, Jenna. Sorry we didn't get to interact too much. Jenna's been very busy answering comments. I'm going to read all those next. And Jim, thank you for making all this possible. And thank you to all. Thank you. And thank you to all our artisans. And thank you for everybody that was listening. We'll be back. Can't wait to see you guys on Thursday next week.
Let me tell you a secret. There are thousands of artisans from all over the world that make jewelry, shawls, handbags, and other beautiful things. And our passion at Novica is to bring them to you. And it's working. Customers are loving it. We are your secret source to the world's most beautiful items. You can buy from Mexico, Peru, Brazil, Thailand, so many beautiful places without ever leaving your home. We've been featured in Oprah Magazine, Vogue, InStyle, and Glamour, and so many others. Novica has been the leading fair trade marketplace for incredible artisans from around the world. The Novica mission is simple. Artisans make more and you pay less. Choose something that inspires you and empower a whole community of artisans.